This program contains discussions of real-life crimes and may not be suitable for all audiences. When Darkness Falls is created for educational and awareness purposes, every effort has been made to ensure accuracy, and we tell these stories with deep respect for the victims, their families, and their communities. The goal is not to sensationalize, but to remember, to understand, and to learn.
There should be no law against killing people. Hell, you restrict somebody from it, they're gonna want it more.
Sad as it may be, she's our friend, but you know what? We all have to make sacrifices. We're sick psychopaths do not get pleasure of killing other people.
She was just 16, babysitting an empty house. Hours later, she's dead. And the killers? They'd been right there all along. In Pocatello, Idaho, September nights are quiet, but one autumn evening in 2006, the quiet was shattered. Two classmates with a camera. They weren't planning a prank. No, they wanted real-life horror story, and they chose Cassie to be their victim. Today we're going to be talking about Cassie Jo Stoddart. She was a junior at Pocatello High School in Idaho. Cassie wasn't just a good student. She was the kind of teenager that every parent hopes for. Responsible, hardworking, a straight-A student who stayed out of trouble. She didn't do anything but go to school. The sheriff said later she didn't do anything but be a friend to just about everybody. And that ultimately led her to her untimely passing. On the fateful night of September 22nd, 2006, Cassie was at her aunts and uncles, Allison and Frank, house sitting and taking care of their pets for the weekend. The house was located in Whispering Cliffs Drive in northeast Bannock County, just a few miles away from her parents' house. Now, Cassie had a steady boyfriend for a few months named Matt. He came over around 6 p.m. A little later in the evening, two of the friends came over as well, Brian and Tori. All four friends went to the same school and were about all 16. Then when Brian and Tori arrived, Cassie had gave them a full tour of the house, including the basement and the second floor. Afterwards, they went into the living room and decided to watch a movie together. Ultimately, it was Kill Bill, Volume 2. However, before the movie ended, both boys, Brian and Tori, left saying they wanted to watch the movie at the movie theater instead.
There should be no law against killing people. I know it's a wrong thing, but hell, you restrict somebody from it, they're gonna want it more.
We found our victim, and sad as it may be, she's our friend, but you know what? We all have to make sacrifices. Our first victim is going to be Cassie Stoddart. She's going to be alone in a big, dark house out in the middle of nowhere. How perfect can you get? I mean, like, holy shit, dude.
I'm horny just thinking about it.
Hell yeah. It was 9:50, September 22nd, 2006. We know there's lots of doors. There's lots of places to hide.
Leaving Matt and Cassie alone on the couch, cuddling. However, things started to get really scary and strange in the house. Sounds started coming from the basement, like glass being broken, which caused one of the family dogs to start barking and growling at the downstairs. The lights then started flickering off and on. Matt could see that Cassie was very scared, and he called his mom asking if he could stay the night with Cassie to ease her mind. But however, this request was denied by his mom. His mom offered instead that Cassie could come over and spend the night at their house. She could drive her back to the house the next morning. However, the weight of the responsibility for watching over the house and the animals was too much for Cassie to ignore, and she kindly declined the offer. A little while later, approximately 10:30 p.m., Matt's mother picked him up, leaving Cassie all alone in the house. After Matt left the house, he had called his friend, Tori, to see what he was doing. When Tori answered the phone, he was whispering. Matt assumed he was at the movies and ended the phone conversation. Then, as soon as Matt had left the house, the power turned off completely. The closet door opened and slammed shut. Then Cassie was brutally attacked while laying on the couch and was stabbed around 30 times. 12 wounds were potentially fatal, and she was left to die.
I just killed Cassie. We just left her house. This is not a fucking joke.
I'm shaking.
I stabbed her in the throat and I saw her lifeless body just disappear. Dude, I just killed Cassie. Oh, fuck. That felt like fucking real. I mean, it went by so fast.
Shut the fuck up. We gotta get our act straight.
Okay.
Then, 2 days later, on September 24th, Frank and Allison had returned home from the weekend away with their 13-year-old son. Cassie had been house-sitting and feeding the pets, keeping the place tidy and making sure everything was fine. But when they walked in, something felt wrong. The house was eerily quiet, too quiet. Then they saw her. Cassie was laying in the living room, motionless. She had been stabbed again and again. Left alone in the house she had promised to protect. The family, weakened away, turned into a nightmare that could never escape, and safety in their home was gone forever.
Emergency 911?
Somebody looks dead on my floor. I need an ambulance out of my house. Yeah. Oh my god, oh my god.
This is a transfer from the county.
Go ahead. There's a girl dead on my floor.
Okay, what happened?
I don't know.
Okay.
She's on my floor, bleeding, not moving.
Okay, I need you to get down and tell me if she's really breathing.
No, she isn't. She's cold.
She's cold as tight?
She's cold.
But who in the world could have done this, and why? The whole town, including the detectives, were baffled. Detectives began to work the same as they always do, talking to the people closest to Cassie. Cassie's boyfriend, Matt, who was just 16, he'd been with her earlier that night, watching the movie, keeping her company. Matt had told the detectives that he left around 10:30 p.m. when his mother came to pick him up, and his mom corroborated that she heard Cassie's voice come from inside the house when she had picked up Matt. Then the detectives spoke with Allison and Frank. They were the ones who found her. The statement matched the scene. A quiet home turned into a blood-soaked nightmare. Then, the detective spoke with Anna, Cassie's mom, who painted the picture of a responsible straight-A student who avoided trouble but trusted wrong people. From there, the detective began moving outward, interviewing Cassie's friends and classmates at the high school. And that's when the two names kept surfacing. Tori and Brian. Classmates, friends, the last people anyone thought could be capable of murder. But before long, they weren't just names on a witness list. They were suspects.
Okay, so if this is the truth,
Yes, this is the truth.
You can, these things we should be able to go out and confirm.
Yes.
And corroborate.
This is. I was trying to hide this because I heard from a friend that that's 10 years in prison.
What exactly were you doing? Tell me exactly what you were doing.
We parked outside her house. Jeez, I lost
That's right. Okay.
We know about the car. We know about some activities that you guys have done, okay? So, needless to say, for you to jerk us our chain, okay? Cassie's this great friend of yours, okay?
And she's watching right now. She's hearing everything that you're saying.
She has been brutally murdered, and then you have wasted our time. Don't waste any more of our time, okay?
We put the pieces of the puzzle together. We know how it went down.
Tell us what happened.
With what?
Out of Cassie's place.
We went through cars, me and Brian.
Okay. You know, I'm not here to insult or anything, but we don't believe your story. And we don't believe your story. And I don't think your dad believes your story about going through the cars. It's a tough one. Take a deep breath and do it, but you know the truth. The truth is easy for you. But we can help you. If we don't get the truth, we can't come together. We can't work this thing out. We can't do it. You're going to be left out in the cold.
Can I talk to an attorney?
You can do that.
At first, Tori and Brian's story seemed harmless enough. They admitted that they'd been at the house earlier that night hanging out with Cassie and Matt. They claimed they left around 10:30, just like Matt did. But something about them felt off. Their timelines, they were just too neat. They're detailed, like rehearsed. Detective pushed harder, and then when the cracks began to show, Brian changed his story, just slightly. Then Tori's version shifted too. Little inconsistencies that didn't seem like much until you added them up. Then came the break. Brian agreed to talk without a lawyer, and what he said changed everything.
Tori stepped in front of me and he walked over here. Cassie was saying, who's there and stuff, and I was about to say, hey, and then she screamed, when that happens, do you see her and do you see Tori? I see Tori walk over there, and is she still laying down? She was scared. She was standing up and she had on a cell phone, but like a house phone in her hand. So I walked closer and he was really scouting, and then I was like, what's going on? Was she laying on the ground? Yes, and she was breathing really hard. And it's like, I have to kill her. So stab her again. What are you doing? So was he stabbing her? Was it in the chest? Yes. Yeah. There was pitch black, and then he shined his flashlight on Cassie, and there was her face. I knew she wasn't there anymore. And I just we walked back downstairs, we turned the power back on, and we went to his car. Let's stop before we leave the house, okay? This is very important, okay? Did you stab her too? No, I didn't touch her. I didn't touch her.
He admitted that he and Tori had gone back to the house that night, not just to hang out, not to check on Cassie, but to kill her.
September 22nd, 2006, we're skipping our 4th hour. We're writing our plan right now for tonight. It's gonna be cool. Yeah, if you're watching this, we're probably deceased. So it's pretty creepy. I just thought of that. About Matt arrives at the same time as Cassie. How about we hide inside the house?
And proof? It wasn't just Brian's words. Oh no, they put it on tape. Brian later admitted he'd stabbed Cassie in the throat. Tori claimed his own strikes had finished the job. Hours later, while Cassie's family slept, believing she was safe, the boys were out acting like any other night, their secrets buried under layers of lies and the darkness of the Idaho night. After leaving Cassie's body in that quiet country home, Brian and Tori had more than just blood on their hands. They had a car full of incriminating evidence. Every item they worn, every tool they used, every trace of their plan was soaked in the proof of what they've done. They collected it all. Dark clothing from the attack still stained. The white hand paint masks meant to make them look like killers of a horror film. Gloves, duct tape, the knives, the weapons that they ended Cassie's life with. They didn't dump the evidence into a trash. Oh, no. They drove out into the darkness, headed for the scheduled field outside of Idaho. The spot is isolated, hidden from casual passerbys. The kind of place where secrets could disappear. Or so they thought. Under the cold night sky, they threw the pile onto the ground. This wasn't just trash. It was a twisted altar to what they'd done. Fabric, plastic, steel lying in a heap. Each piece a silent witness. Then flame. The fire roared to life, swallowing the mass, turning clothing into black ash, warping the knives with heat. And the boys stood there watching their crime go up in smoke, convinced that they're erasing every trace. But they didn't know that fire doesn't always erase the truth. In the days that followed, they would even return to school, blending back into the hallway, smiling at classmates, as if they hadn't just killed someone of their own. Detectives found videotapes the boys had made in the day leading up to Cassie's murder. Even on the day itself, Tori and Brian on camera describing their plan to kill her, laughing about it, and talking about making her their first victim. These weren't just two teenagers caught in a moment of rage. This was premeditation, script like their very own horror movie. When detectives pressed play, what they saw was chilling. Not just because of what was said, but because of who was saying it. Two smiling, laughing teenagers from high school. The first clip were filmed days before the murder. Tori sitting beside him, talking like they want to kill somebody. Not in the heat of the moment, but a deliberate act. They referenced the movie Scream. They talked about choosing Cassie as their first victim. Yes, first victim. They were excited. They were planning a party. Then they saw the footage of the day of the murder. Brian grinning, saying, "We're going to go kill Cassie Jo tonight. We're in the real life right now." Tori was laughing and says they've been planning this for weeks. No hesitation in their voices and no second thoughts, only anticipation. The later clips filmed after the murder are even worse. They're sitting in the car, the camera's shaking slightly. Brian says, almost casually, "I stabbed her in the throat. I saw her lifeless body." And Tori admits to stabbing her too, as if he'd been giving a play-by-play on a football game. These tapes weren't just incriminating. They were the window into the killer's mind. Cold, calculated, completely detached from the horror of what they had done. For detectives, there was no more doubt, and for prosecutors, there was no more better evidence to have. When the jury returned, the verdict was unanimous. Guilty of first-degree murder, guilty of conspiracy to commit murder. Sentence? Life in prison, no possibility of parole. And for Cassie's family, proof that no matter how carefully you plan, the truth has a way of surviving. And as for Cassie's family, it was proof of a betrayal so deep, it was almost impossible to comprehend. There was relief, but no real closure, because justice doesn't bring someone back. No sentence can erase the horror of how she died and imagining how she felt betrayed. Cassie was just 16 years old. She loved animals. She worked hard in school. She had friends, a boyfriend, a family who adored her. She did everything right, and still, two people she trusted People she welcomed into the evening, turned into her last moments into a living nightmare. Her story isn't just about a crime. It's about betrayal, about how people who smile at you in the hallway can be hiding dark intentions. Cassie's life was no more than the way she died. She was a daughter, a sister, a friend, a young woman with dreams she never got to chase. And while her killers will spend the rest of their lives behind bars, this doesn't make the world feel safer for those who she left behind. So remember Cassie for her laughter, her kindness, her determination, and not just for the crime that took her away. Because in the end, justice can punish the guilty, but only we can keep the memory of the innocent alive.
We're gonna be just like Scream, except real life terms. We're gonna be murderers. So we're gonna kill her and her friends, and we're gonna keep moving on. It's gonna be extra fun.
You're evil.
Yes, I am. We're sick psychopaths do not get pleasure of killing other people.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Cassie's family, but she had to be number one. We have to stick with the plan. And she's perfect, so she's gonna die.
I was actually the individual who snuck downstairs and unlocked the basement door. And it's that one choice where I was just kind of going along with it. I really didn't stop and say, why am I doing this? I just did it. And that one thing that I did is hard to deal with. Because all I had to do was just not do that, and this may have never happened.
When it did happen, I was just too shocked to do anything, and I just ran from it and hid from it, and I made a lot of mistakes, but they were, I don't know, I just think I look at myself now and I'm 21 and I think how stupid I was at 16, and I just think how I feel like I'm paying for somebody else's mistakes at this point.
Cassie's story is a chilling reminder that true evil doesn't come from movies. Sometimes it comes from people you think you can trust. This brings this case to a close, my friends. Thank you so much for being here. And if you'd like, please hit the like and subscribe button. We do appreciate you being here. Until next time, please be safe, look out for one another, and please lock your doors. Bye for now.